Here, make
Fight about it?
Fight.
Wanna fight about it?
All right, folks, we are back for another episode of the Wanna Fight About It podcast. I'm your host, as always, Stephen Rochelle. Got a fun one lined up for you tonight. The lights are going to be turned out here in a minute as the man himself, Mr. Shawn Merriman, is going to be joining us. He is, the founder, the CEO of Lights Out XFE, and they got a big event coming here, August 26th. Event number 10 there should be a fun one. We got Mark Coleman's going to be joining us. The Godfather, ground pound himself, the Hammer is going to be on the 9:30 minutes and or 8:30 minutes, sorry. And we're gonna have some fun. Mark's got a celebrity boxing in November, so it's gonna be a fun one. So with that being said, this interview, this show is brought to you by our guys over at the Just Blaze show, and they're gonna give us some love.
Just Blazed Clothing Company. We are the premier clothing and lifestyle brand for the cannabis enthusiast. Premier clothing, cannabis accessories, with a South Beach flair. Go online today and check out all our great products at justblazedclothingcompany.com. Use the promo code FIGHT at checkout and get 10% off your purchase.
All right, thank you for Just Blaze and everything they're doing. Make sure you're hitting that code FIGHT. They're a unique brand for sure, and they got all kinds of products, t-shirts, hats, and they also do sponsor some fighters and do some fighter walkouts. So make sure you guys are giving them some love and hit that code FIGHT. At that being said, let's get into it, folks.
Fighting out of the red corner.
Hey, what's up? This Shawn Lights Out Merriman of San Diego.
Shawn Merriman on the very first play of the game. Shawn Merriman.
Merriman starts from the outside, then goes to the inside, and then comes back and gets him again.
Whoa, baby.
Merriman got him.
Shawn Merriman.
And lights out.
Come watch.
Oh, we just lost him. He was in the back a second ago. Well, we'll get back to Shawn in a second, but we'll see what's going on with that. But there's a lot of big fights coming up in the next few months or so. Magaveg and Oliveira is going to go back at it again. Obviously, the big fight, Nagano Fury, Jones Miowicz. In the boxing world, we're also going to have Canelo Alvarez and Chalo. That should be a fun little matchup there. I don't know if anyone had seen, but everyone's been complaining about the eye pokes, groin strikes, and how the MMA and ABC rules have made it for when there is a foul. So they did introduce two new rules where the fighters will now have access to the cut man when that's always been sitting there. You hear Rogan, you hear the guys complain that you hear the fighters complain that they don't have access to that during that down period of time, which is kind of silly. The fighters will have more time to recover from eye pokes, but before being examined by the doctor, by the and separating the stalling fighters is another big rule. We've sitting there, not have a defined rule for that, and it's kind of a sticking point, where the referees didn't have a defined rule where it was up to their discretion. Now there's something in the rule book about it, which I think is important, especially have it sanctioned from the ABC. And clarification on how referees can reinsert fighters in positions after the foul. Sometimes there is a foul, but you have a guy that's in a dominant position, and he could very well get said fighter out of the fight, and they don't necessarily reset in that manner. So that's I think those are two huge points moving forward. I'm not sure what else you could ask. I don't know if you would want to see them implement new rules, more rule sets to redefine some of these things. I think that some of this stuff was kind of obvious and a long time coming. So gotta shoot. All right, guys, let me see if I can see what's going on with Sean here. Let me give you guys another quick sponsor video here.
Fantasy Sports Corp and Underdog Fantasy have teamed up to start your fantasy season off in the win column with Best Ball. What is Best Ball? It's quite simply the easiest way to win. Fantasy Sports Corp and Underdog Fantasy have teamed up to start your fantasy season off in the win column with Best Ball. What is Best Ball? It's quite simply the easiest way to win. No team management, no trades, no waivers. It's their biggest contest ever, and it has only gotten bigger. You simply have to sit and win. You don't even have to set your lineup. Always get your best score every week. Just enter a contest, draft your team, and Underdog will do the rest. What could make this even better? How about free money, up to $100 using our exclusive promo code? Go online now and use promo code WANNAFIGHT to double your deposit up to $100. You tell them Gingerbread sent you. Good girl.
Just Blazed Clothing Company. We are the premier clothing and lifestyle brand for the cannabis enthusiast. Premier clothing, cannabis accessories, with a South Beach flair. Go online today and check out all our great products at justblazedclothingcompany.com. Use the promo code FIGHT at checkout and get 10% off your purchase.
All right, folks. Sorry for the delay. Unfortunately, Mr. Merriman is having hurricane issues. We're going to get right into it with our second guest of the evening.
Fighting out of the red corner.
Fighting out of Columbus, Ohio, a two-time gold medalist at the Pan Am Games, UFC 10 and UFC 11 champion, and a member of the 1992 Olympic wrestling team, Mark the Hammer Coleman.
Ready, folks. We're here with the man, the Hammer, Mr. Mark Coleman. Mark, how we feeling this afternoon, this evening?
Man, I feel good. That was cool. That was a nice little opening there. That got me all fired up.
There you go. I love it. That's our video guy, our armchair athletics guy. He always takes care of it. Always hooks you guys up with cool little intros for us to play for you guys.
Awesome.
So how are things with you, man? I mean, you've been on quite a road the last few years. You went from being in a bad spot. You were looking bad, being laid up in a hospital, to what we're looking at. Looking at your socials and looking at you now, and you're getting a six-pack back. What's going on, brother? How you feeling now?
Yeah, that last picture you showed, that was about 3 months ago. 3 months ago. You should see it now, man. I've come a long way since that last picture, but the one you showed to me in the hospital, that was 4 years ago. That was when I had a heart attack. But that was 4 years ago. Yeah, I was real bad, drinking heavily, drinking every day. Lived in a hotel, extended stay hotel, man. I just, I kind of just gave up, man. I was, hit rock bottom.
The depression, the anxiety, life, people
Yeah,
don't
everything. Well,
understand what a lot of you athletes go through. I know, man.
Well, no, a lot of things. Yeah, my last fight was 2010. I was 44 years old. I wasn't ready to retire, not even close, but I had all kinds of pain in both my hips. I mean, it got pretty bad, but it didn't matter. As long as I get a little treatment on it, the pain would go away. I'd buy myself another couple weeks or a month. But my doctor, after my last fight with Couture, I wasn't happy about that at all. My doctor, he told me, because I got an MRI on my hip, and he told me he said it's destroyed. He said it's bone on bone. It's over. You need a hip replacement. And, Mark Coleman never listens to hardly anybody, man. I don't listen to anybody my whole
we're stubborn. We know best, right?
my whole fucking life. And for probably the biggest decision, of one of the biggest decisions of my life, I didn't question this son of a bitch. Even though, he's a great friend of mine. He's from Puerto Rico. He did a lot of surgeries on me. Not major surgeries, minor surgeries, like cut some shit out of my, had some growths and stuff. But Puerto Rico, they got different rules, man. But, I think, he's a good friend of mine. I think he was just worried about me, even though I hadn't been hit very many times. I mean, my whole career, I only took probably, a couple handfuls of really hard shots, man. That ain't very, very fucking many. And I think he was worried about me, but he called me at 7 a.m. and I grabbed the phone and he said, "You're done, boy." He said, "You're done, boy. It's over. You need a replacement." And that's it, man. I just kind of accepted it. And, I was already, I had been drinking my whole career, man. My whole fucking career you could tell when I was drinking and when I wasn't. Just watch the fights. It was just very obvious, man. You know what I mean? Shit. But some guys got real lucky. Some guys got real lucky because I was on a drinking bender before I fought him. You know what I mean? Real stupid. Real humbling. Maurice Smith, the most humbling fight of my life, man. I I had been drinking my ass off, and I just thought I could whoop him I thought I could whoop him without even training, man. It went 21 fucking minutes. It was the worst 21 minutes of my life, man. Shit, that was just brutal. You know, I knocked him out. I knocked him out with a headbutt in the first couple minutes, and then I woke him up with another one. You know, he told me that later on. You know,
what do you hold more dearly? That your UFC run that saw you become a multiple time champion, or what was it, your pride run?
Oh fuck, it's very close, but I knew when I beat Don Fry, and then I didn't have nobody in UFC 11. Nobody would even fight me, even if anybody would have, Tank Abbott or Frozo. I knew none of them fucking guys were world class. You know what I mean? I wasn't stupid. You know, I love Don Fry, but just quite. Maybe he's world class for a 205 pounder, but he ain't a world class heavyweight. That's all I'm saying. He's a world class tough guy, but I knew I wasn't the. I come from an Olympic wrestling background, and I knew all kinds of wrestlers that could probably whoop my ass right then. You know what I mean? Not all kinds of them, but that's the guys I would have been feared. That's the only guys I would have been afraid of, is a guy with, maybe bigger and maybe with better fucking wrestling. That would have with cardio out the ass. I knew that was going to dominate this sport. So, what the fuck was I talking about?
We were talking about the pride run and the UFC run.
Oh, okay. So then I beat Dan Severn, and hell, I knew for a fact Dan Severn at the age of 31, he would have been a fucking handful for me, because he was a dominating pinning machine in college wrestling, and he came real close to making the Olympic team. This is a man who he tore both his ACLs in both knees. He never had surgery. He just rehabbed it and kept going, and he's never had any surgery, I don't think. He needs a hip replacement right now. I've been trying to tell him to get the fucker done for 2-3 years, but he refuses, and he's limping away,
and it's funny because you guys are like, you guys fought and things of that nature, but he's one of the few guys that's like literally been through thick and thin with you through the years. You guys continually run together, run into each other at events, do events together. What does Dan Severn mean to you, just as a person, let alone as a combat sports guy?
Well, let me answer that other question real quick first. So the UFC run, when I beat Dan Severn, I knew, I just knew I wasn't world champ, man. I never was world champ in wrestling. I took second in the fucking world. I lost to the Russian in the finals. And my whole life, I knew I was going to have to wrestle a Russian in the finals to win. You know what I mean? I came so close. I lost 1-0. And then, Dan Severn at 31 years of age, he was that Russian, but take away 8 years where he walked away from wrestling at the age of probably 27 because there's no money in it. So, he didn't do nothing for 10 years. I mean, no training. Dan Severn was not a big fan of hard training sessions anymore. I mean, he did in college and shit like that. He was a brutal force. But, he walked away from competitive wrestling, and his life changed. And I knew that at 38 years old, he was a shell of himself at 31, and I was 31, and I was in my ultimate prime, 31 years age. I had taken 3 years off of wrestling because I went AWOL. I lost in the 92 Olympics, and then after I lost, I started partying, make up for lost time. 27 years, I was a good boy, and then 28, 29, and 30 were not good years for the Hammer. Well, they would in some ways, but not in fucking athletics. But I did get in the weight room every fucking day. I didn't step on a wrestling mat for years, but I kept getting in the weight room, and my strength just kept getting super, super freakishly inhuman, man. You can ask many people that ever touched me, and every fucking one of them will possibly say he might have been the strongest guy they've ever touched in their life. A lot of people will say that for sure, but anybody that's ever touched me will say he's very, very, very strong. And that was my objective as a kid growing up. As 5 years of age, I was already doing 100 push-ups in a row. I had to get bigger, stronger, faster, and that'll solve all my problems. As long as I get bigger, faster, stronger, and as long as I can whoop your ass, life is good. That's just the way I thought. But, so anyways, with Severn, it was incredible. UFC champion. I knew being the first one, I knew how fucking important that is to the whole scheme of MMA, no holds barred at the time. So it's more prestigious than the fucking Pride Grand Prix, but just barely. Because if you're a true fan, everybody knows Pride took over for a long time. But anyways, it's more prestigious, and it gives my name some fucking kick right now because everybody remembers the first. Nobody remembers Marie Smith, who beat my drunk ass. But anyways, no, when I went over to Pride, I was coming off 4 fucking losses, and obviously there was a lot of booze involved. I knew the reason I didn't give up on myself like all the fans did is because I didn't make excuses. I just gave myself reasons, like lots of booze, man, and less training. So, so I had to do the work in Japan with Takada. I had to do that to get in the Pride Grand Prix. I had to throw the fight with Takada, lose that fight to the Japanese guy, and that was in Pride 5. And really, that was so people don't understand how big that was for the promotion. Letting he's Japan's super's biggest name at the time, and I had to let him beat me. But it gave the company serious steam. And then I had to beat. I wasn't in the Grand Prix. Then I had to beat Ricardo Moraes, 6'10", 275-pound Brazilian, and my whole world was on the line because I'm coming off 4 losses, and I got to fight this fucking monster. Yes, there were some doubts. You couldn't help but have some doubts, but I put the bottle down for 3 months, and it was enough. I could have mauled this son of a bitch. I passed this guard. I almost tapped him out with the original Mark Coleman can opener. Obaki, Tim Katoffel, he turned me on to this shit. It was awesome. I had this guy in the can opener for 10 minutes of a 20-minute fight, and I literally had him, you could barely hear him still breathing. He was gurgling so many times, but he was so fucking strong, he was able to force his way out of it. But I almost tapped that son of a bitch. But no, I beat him, and then I'm in the Pride Grand Prix, and they did not want me to win that. The Japan people had Mark Kerr on their list as the superstar. Igor Vovchanchyn was the superhero. Sakuraba was the hero. Hoist Gracie, they did not. They only wanted Mark Coleman in there just so they could show my 3 belts, from the UFC, and they wanted somebody else to snatch them. But
they wanted you to do that, the wrestling move. They wanted you to get their guys over. Yeah,
but fuck that. I had too much notice, and I basically went the Takada fight. I didn't really train for that, but after the Takada fight, I had 3 months for Ricardo Moraes. Then I had 3 more months for the first round of the Grand Prix with the Japanese guy, and I can't open the shit out of him real quick. And then I had 3 more months before the fucking finals. So you're talking Mark Coleman on 9 months, maybe 1 or 2 benders. 1 or 2 I had a couple of nights out, but basically 0 drinking for 9 months. I fucking knew I was winning that bitch. I knew it. I put some money on it. You know what I mean? So that was just to shut everybody up, because I have had many people let me know they put some cash on me. I love to hear it, but it wasn't very many. And to shut everybody up is that's what everybody likes to do the most, man. All us athletes, we love shutting people up.
Shutting the doubters up, shutting the haters up, shutting the trash talkers up.
Yeah. But anyways, and he was undefeated. Igor was undefeated. He beat Mark Kerr. This guy was, but I knew I had him. I swear to God, but the Pride tried to change the rules so bad that there's no way I could beat him. First of all, he wasn't allowed to knee a downed opponent unless he's on his back, which how the fuck you gonna have a guy on his back and knee him in the head? You know what I mean? All you gotta do is belly down, right? But anyways, they did that. They put that rule in the night before, and then they changed it from a 20-minute time limit. I was gonna take Igor down and smash him for 20 hard minutes. You ain't gonna finish him. I was just gonna pound him hard. But then they changed it to a no time limit finals, and you can't knee the son of a bitch. So they flat out didn't want me. It sounds like they didn't want Mark Curry because we fought the same way. It sounds like they tweaked the rules definitely to not have me in there, but they thought Mark Kerr was going to beat me anyways. But fuck, man, the Lord was with me that night, and I could have went for an hour. I could have went for a fucking hour with Igor, and then eventually I would have shut his eyeballs. But I'm not going. I mean, I'm not going to lie. After about 10 knees to his head, and he was still fighting, I really, really started getting worried because it ended up kneeing him in the head 14. The 14th time was the clincher. I didn't knock him out, but the son of a bitch finally tapped. And yeah, hallelujah. I tried to jump out of the fucking cage. I had planned that before I won that thing. I planned on if I win, I'm jumping right out of the ring like my buddy Kevin Randleman could have did. He could have did it, but I got up in the midair and no, it wasn't even close. So yeah, everybody talked about the celebration as much as the win, but I would say they're tied, but that one it meant so much to me as an athlete, but the other one means more probably.
Yeah, I mean, the Pride one probably means more to you personally, but I guess through the looking glass of what everyone calls accomplishments, you're probably more known for being the UFC champion than being the Pride tournament winner. But nowadays, that's all the same thing because UFC was they bought Pride, they did this, they did that. It's a part of what their history is.
Yes, sir. I'm so glad they did that because if the UFC would have never bought Pride, they would have never talked about it. It would have been hidden, So now they want to get their money back for the purchase, so they have to promote it a little bit. So they still do enough sales to recoup some of that $70 million. I guess they paid for it. $70 million.
I still think they got back at it because of the contracts and some of the guys they got back. People tend to forget that they don't buy Pride. The Anderson Silva era never happens. He was in Pride, and I don't think that they would have gone and looked for Anderson.
It does happen because Pride lost so much fucking money because this guy got, he got accused of being with the Yakuza, which I'm sure he was. But he got busted, and they were the big sponsors pulled out. The TVs pulled out, so they were off the TV. They had nothing going. They had lose so much money. I think the UFC could have got it for fucking a quarter of what they paid. I don't know, but I just know I know. I know the president or whatever, but he was hurting bad, and he made out pretty good getting that $70 million. But I think they could have got it a lot.
What do you think of this potential PFL and Bellator merging at some point in time in the next year? Oh. Guess let's give Mark a quick minute here to see if we can figure out the technical difficulties and actually get a quick word in from our sponsor.
Just Blazed Clothing Company. We are the premier clothing and lifestyle brand for the cannabis.
Take a break.
Yeah, all right. I was just giving you sometimes the internet loves us so well. Technology.
No, I got a phone call. I messed it up.
It's all right, my friend. It happens. But I want to get a quick few more in here for you. We were just talking about the UFC and Pride merger. What are your thoughts on the potential PFL and Bellator merging at some point in time in the next year?
I mean, I guess that's cool, but they're always going to be number 2, so I think it don't matter. But what does matter is this UFC lawsuit that's going to have to get taken care of.
Yeah, I agree. You got Mark Hunt. Has been one of the bigger advocates of it. Kung Lee is another guy who's been championing of this thing. How long until you guys think you'll get some type of resolution sometime in the next few years?
I'm not in the lawsuit. My last fight was 3 months prior to the 5-year deadline that you could be involved. So I can't be involved with it, which kind of makes me happy in one way because I have a good relationship with Dana White, and I'm sure he's not going to be too happy with the people that are doing this.
I mean, obviously, but you can't make changes.
It don't matter. It don't matter. I'm on a good relationship with him. He gives me tickets. He takes care of me. And if I was in the lawsuit, I wouldn't get those things.
You do make a point there because you and Dana have always been on good terms, no matter how how things went. Like you're one of these guys. You understand how the business goes at times. You have your ebb and flows. You're up, you're down, whatever. But I don't think you and Dana ever had a bad thing to really say about one another. So it's not one of these things where you have bad blood. Some of these guys that that are in this thing, or they felt that they had some conversations where, hey, like this is what we're going to do, and then this didn't happen, and that's why a lot of those guys feel that. But I think in the overall, like, you can't change the sport itself until you go through some of these things. Like, people get upset about it. Like, how many times have the NFL been sued? Like listen, things are going to be ebb and flow and change when these sports continue to grow. We're talking about MMA, where we're still within the first 50 years of its existence. The NFL is hundreds of years into it. They've been sued, more than a handful of times, more than 2 handful of times. Yeah, so it's going to happen. I still think, either way, I think I'd love to see everyone get taken care of, where the sport changes, where some of these guys feel like they're taken care of, and some of the guys in the future are taken care of.
Well, yeah, it's like you said, it's 30 years in, man. So they got to pay your dues. Dana White's doing what everybody's done in the past. The NFL, the Major League Baseball. Eventually, it'll all even itself out. But you gotta pay your dues, man. I mean, it's gonna take time. They're fighting hard. Dana's spending millions to fight this, but that's what he can do. And so what? I mean, that's just how it goes. There's no rush. I mean, there ain't no damn rush, but he's either going to settle, or I think he's going to have to settle. And because if they go to trial and lose, I heard that's like be a death.
Yeah, I still think that's what I said. I think they'll settle. They'll come to some nice medium where everyone kind of gets what they want in some way, shape, or form. Looks like Mark's getting another call too.
Sorry about that.
It's all right, brother. Life happens. Now, but want to ask you about this one, brother. Obviously, this is one of the reasons I wanted to get you on tonight, outside of picking your brain. But you said it's been a while since you've been in there. You've been having the itch. You weren't quite done. November 4th, you're getting back in there, and you're in sort of having that Philly connection because Damon Feldman's right in my backyard over here. How excited are you to do the celebrity boxing and get in there with your opponent there?
I'm just excited about life. I'm excited about me being the best version of myself I can be, and training and being healthy and being in shape. That is what happiness is all about. I had none of that. I lost it all. I mean, for me, I having money and being sick and old and fat, no, that would be miserable. So I am blessed. I'm getting in better. I literally train up to 12 hours a day. I'm doing some kind of exercise. I'm up at fucking 6 a.m. and I get started. I walk at least 10, 15 miles a day, but I do advanced walking. I got weights in my hand, egg weights in my hand. I do shadow boxing. I walk on my toes. I walk on the hills. I walk backwards. I get the sun. I get grounded into the earth. I get cold at least 10 times a day. I'd either jump in a pool or take a cold shower. Ideally, I get into a cold plunge, but if I don't have it, I just get cold and it starts me over. I have unlimited amount of energy. I mean, it's 9 o'clock right now.
Recently too.
It's 9 o'clock right now, and I've been up since 6, and the only break I took was basically talking to you guys right now, but really, I have so much energy still. I'm sore as can be. Right now, I'm laying here, I'm so fucking sore, but I'll sleep tonight. I'll wake up in the morning, and I'll start again at 6 a.m., maybe earlier, who knows, and I'm what's making this possible is obviously I'm 2 years, 4 months sober, and that's the only way it's possible. But on top of that, Liver King and me have partnered up. I promote the carnivore diet because I believe in it, the 9 ancestral tenets. I believe in everything. Getting grounded into the earth, getting the sun, getting hot, getting cold, what you eat, how you sleep, making a plan, loving the ones that you love. These are the 9 tenets, man, and I live by them. And the carnivore diet, I fast every day, at least 20 hours a day. Sometimes sometimes 24 hours, and then I'll just eat one meal. But lately I've been eating for like a 4-hour window. And yes, I eat a lot of meat. I love it. I eat a lot of meat, a lot of cheese, a lot of bacon. And if I earn my carbs, then I'll eat some carbs, which obviously 12 hours of training, I'm earning my carbs. But if I want to get perfect, I don't have to eat the carbs. You don't need the fucking carbs, but man, they are so delicious. But anyways,
literally almost everything that us as Americans enjoy on a semi-regular basis, it's carb crazy.
Yeah, but it's so horrible.
It is. I mean, I've cut a lot. I don't even drink. I haven't drinking like soda in like almost 3 years.
Yeah, well, good. It's rotten, but
I know. I do. I argue with my kid's mother all the time. They're like, "Oh, what do you have this week in soda?" I'm like, "Do we have to have this conversation again? Do I have to send them a water bottles full of water or something?"
Yeah, the seed oils is what else is the worst, man. All these fast food restaurants, the oil they cook in is just killing everybody. You got to cook in beef tallow. I eat a B-dub wings. Everybody says, "Oh, that ain't healthy." Well, it is. They cook in beef tallow. I get the burger. I don't eat the bun. I get a couple burgers. I get the 6 wings. It's on the carnivore diet. They're cooked in beef tallow, and I'll get some fries, and I'm in fucking heaven. I eat Liver King's nose to tail. His supplements are fucking awesome. They're so powerful. Supplements are really just food. So I take 6 different kind of supplements from him, but they're all like, you got organs, you got bone, you got liver, you got tallow, beef tallow, you got organs, you got the kidneys, you got everything in these pills, and they just make it easy for me instead of having to eat raw testicles, which is ideally the best way to eat some food. I can take them into supplements to make it a lot easier for me. But if I had a chef, and when I go out and see Liver King, I can't wait. His chef is the best in the world, but I will be eating all the shit raw. But I don't have a chef, and I'm kind of, I don't know. I do eat raw sometimes. I do eat raw once or twice a week, but I get it into supplements, you know. Then I like, you know, but that, and then what was I talking about here?
we were talking about the whole dieting thing because we were talking about your fight, but I want to get two more into you before we get ready to close things up and send you on your way.
Yeah. So I'm excited. It's either 3 1-minute rounds or maybe 5 1-minute rounds. I mean, I've been getting laughed at. I've been getting laughed at by everybody. Chael Sonnen been laughing at me. Well, fuck, I'll fight Chael fucking Sonnen. He's undefeated. I guarantee you, he's undefeated in his mind, which I understand that. I believe that. But I tell you what, he will not believe he's undefeated after he fucking gets in there with me. But that's all right. Fuck Chael Sonnen, no. But anyway,
I mean, a lot of people aren't happy about it. A lot of people feel you know, have said what they've said, and you know, at the end of the day, like I don't see why people are. It's not like you jumped in and you're doing Damon's other brother's promotion, bare knuckle boxing. Then people can get upset. You guys know what you're doing to get in there. You want to be
Look, man, I don't care who gets fucking upset about anything, brother. If I do bare knuckle boxing, I don't give a fuck who talks about it. I got bigger plans than this stupid. It ain't stupid, but this is a 3 1-minute celebrity boxing with
when we say stupid, we're talking about the rule set, right?
Super big boxing gloves. I ain't worried about it. It's gonna be dirty as hell. You know, fuck these people. And if I got bigger plans than this, I am gonna fight some people with a name. Trust me. I'm just getting started, man. I feel amazing. I'm getting advanced medicine at this hyperbaric therapy of Dublin, Ohio. I just got stem cells. I'm doing hyperbaric therapy 3 times a week, which heals my fucking body. All this shit is possible. These 12-hour marathon sessions that I'm doing, they're only possible because of my diet, my sobriety, and the hyperbaric therapy, the hyperbaric chambers 3 days a week, the stem cell. I get this stuff called EBU. They take the blood out. They put it through the machine. They clean the shit out of the blood. They put it back in you. That, I'm doing chirotherapy. I'm doing saunas. I'm doing every fucking thing I can possibly do to be the best version of myself ever. So, look, the fights may happen, but that's not why. I'm not doing this just for the fights. I'm doing it because I promote Liver King's carnivore diet. We are partners. That's what I'm all about. The fight is just going to happen, but I'm not worried about this one at all. It's just 3 1-minute rounds, celebrity boxing. I'm going to turn it into a dirty fucking boxing match. Dirty as hell to be over. I don't plan on knocking this guy out. You know, what the fuck? He's a world class. He's fast as lightning. I got to get my hands on him and get dirty with him. But anyways, I'm looking forward to the future where it'll be more real. And I'm not joking about Chael Sonnen. I'm not joking. I would love to fight him.
In what style? Are we talking boxing? Are we talking
I don't
grappling?
care. Fucking boxing. I'll box the son of a bitch. I'll beat him in boxing for sure. But Muay Thai for sure. I'll beat him. I want Muay Thai. That's my favorite, Muay Thai. But MMA, man, I'll take that son of a bitch down and ground and pound his ass.
And you were just talking about Ohio. I gotta get your thoughts on the former champ from there recently is going against John Jones, and you know, obviously you and Stipe were the Ohio heavyweight champions there of the UFC. You think he's going to reclaim the belt and be the one that dethrones John Jones?
Well, if anybody can do it, he can. But to me, it all depends on how hard is he training, because I think, he's been away for a long time, and, it's good for his body to recoup, and he put on a lot of size. So I love the fact that he's 10, 15 pounds bigger. But I just hope he can turn up the intensity. I wish he'd bring me in and let me help him, but I helped him in one of his camps. But, maybe he doesn't like my intensity. I don't know. But I would love to be there and help him. I know wrestling. Jones is going to wrestle, brother. He's going to wrestle no matter what.
Yeah,
and
he is.
I think Steve A can do it, but if he does do it, he's the GOAT. But hey, nobody's done it yet. Nobody's fucking done it yet. And, Jones is the GOAT right now. If he wins, he's the GOAT.
I absolutely agree. Like, I have a problem throwing that GOAT name around. I always say it's really hard. I even try to do it in, I guess, what I like to do here is the Mount Rushmore. And this is the last one I have for you. Who is your combat sports Mount Rushmore? We just say GOATs, right? I always say which division. Are we talking men's? Are we talking women? Who, if you had a Mount Rushmore to make
Jones, Khabib, George St. Pierre, and Fedor.
And speaking of which, he's in the news today too. Apparently, he wants to box now.
Well, why not? He needs money. I mean, he needs money, man.
Is that what it's all about when it comes to some of these guys that come out and just
well, I mean, he
called out Mike Tyson.
No, he's a competitor. He loves to fucking compete, but yeah, that's the biggest paycheck he can get fighting Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson is my GOAT. Mike Tyson is my motherfucking GOAT. When he was on, and when he trained, and when he stayed away from the booze, shit, man, that motherfucker. I hear he's moving around with making Ngannou look slow. I mean, this guy can still move, dude, man. He can still move, and he can still wing them punches. He's dangerous. He's fucking the way I feel right now. If he feels anything like me, he's still fucking killing everybody. Not everybody, but he's still fucking killing 99%.
Fedor was something special. It's what I like to say. The UFC stole a lot of super fights from us, that just because the politics of things and not just making things happen. But that's an argument for another day. Mark, what I like to do here at the end is kind of throw the proverbial microphone to you. Play a little intro and put a little spotlight on you, and you would like to thank, trainer partners, teammates, shoot out their social media sites, any sponsors you want to give some love to, anything you're doing outside of the combat sports world that you would like to let the people know about. The time is yours, my friend.
All right, brother, man. I live with my oldest. It's such a blessing. I got my parents are still here. My mom and dad are still here. I got family. I got my health. I'm so happy. Never been better. I'm hoping I'm doing this for my fans because I'm getting laughed at quite a bit. I love it. I don't give a fuck. But my fans, they're loyal. I got some of the best fans in the fucking world. They're so damn loyal. They helped me out when I was down. When the hips were bad, the GoFundMe, I wish I wouldn't done that because I would have survived. I would have got through, but I did it, or my people did it, and I'm grateful. I appreciate all you. Hopefully I could do something for all you at some point. I would do anything for you guys, but I'm going to keep grinding forward. Celebrity Boxing, November 4th versus Montel Griffin. I'm not. It's going to be fun. It's going to be intense. It's going to be exciting. It's very real. It's not. It's celebrity boxing, but all I know is it's real. I'm trying to hit this guy, and he's trying to hit me. That's it. But I got bigger plans. Chael Sonnen. Let's go. Laugh at me. You won't be laughing. You will not be undefeated after you're fucking done with me. and you won't even say you're undefeated. I promise. Love you guys. Sober's the coolest thing ever. Carnivore Diet, 9 ancestral tenets. Liver King is my sponsor. He made all this possible. January 1st, Liver King challenged me to fucking transform my body back into the hammer of before. And I accepted the challenge. Now we are partners. Now we are buddies. I promote the carnivore diet because I believe in it 1,000%. Look at that shit, man. Look at that. And the 9 ancestral tenets are common sense. Sober's the coolest thing ever. And heaven!
Love the energy, Mark. I can't wait for it. Definitely got to stay in touch for the fans that they don't know. I already sent Mark a couple things. We're gonna be doing a little giveaway. Anyone who predicts the outcome to Mark's November fight, make a comment below here. We'll around November 4th, we'll lock the comments on it. Anyone want to win a signed Mark Coleman card? Make sure you hit us up, Mark. Definitely gonna have you back on here afterwards. We'll talk some more, and we'll hope that it's a great outcome, and we'll hear some of these plans on what actually will be next.
No matter what happens, no matter what the fuck happens, unless I die, and even if I die, that's the way it fucking goes. No matter what happens, I already won. I win. As long as I get up and walk out of that fucking place, I win. There's no way I can lose, no matter what happens. So that's the way I look at it. I have no fear anymore. Zero fear. I had a lot of fear back when I was doing all this shit. I had a lot of fear. But now I don't. So it's going to be a lot funner, a lot easier.
All right, Mark. Appreciate the time tonight. Catch up with you real soon, and we'll do it again.
All right, brother. You have a good night.
You too, my brother. All right, everyone. Again, apologize for the beginning half of the show. Sean was having technical difficulties. Hurricane Hillary completely did a kibosh on that interview. I will get you that interview at some point in time this weekend. I'm still working it out with Sean. We're going to get him on there. Really appreciate Mark Coleman's time tonight. It was an absolute blast. I could have him on here for 2 hours picking his brain about all kinds of stuff. Guys, he's not a joke. He's not playing games. He's for real. He looks in shape. He looks like he's going to do a lot of damage. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see if he can his positive vibe, positive energy, and already a crazy skill set that he's acquired over the years can continue have him winning. It's going to be really fun to watch. Interesting to see how it plays out. Really, West marked the best of skill November 4th. Hopes to get it done. We'll find out what happens. We'll get him back on here again. We are going to be doing a signature giveaway with the Wanna Fight About It podcast and Mark Coleman. So again, guys, leave your predictions below. We're gonna have some more announcements attached to that. Other than that, this was a fun episode. We'll be back next week again. Like I said, I will try to get you guys the Shawne Merriman interview and talk some Lights Out XFE 10, which is coming next weekend. So other than that, I'll see you guys next Friday, same time, same place. Peace out, folks.
Just Blazed Clothing Company. We are the premier clothing and lifestyle brand for the cannabis enthusiast. Premier clothing, cannabis accessories, with a South Beach flair. Go online today and check out all our great products at Just Blazed.